What a contrast and what a, I mean, I don't have to speak. The situation speaks for itself. When I came at 4 o'clock, if you go to the ground floor of this very hotel, just after you enter on the left side, you have more young boys and girls dancing than you have present in this room. So that shows the contrast of what is lifestyle and what is fitness. And of course, dance will improve fitness, no doubt. But many of them I have noticed were sitting outside and smoking. So that also is a great story in itself as to how lifestyle, fitness, and what are our preferences in life and how they are changing and how what we can see in the future, how it will happen. They should be sitting here and listening to how fitness and lifestyle are interlinked. Nevertheless, we all know there's hardly anything that I can tell you that is new. Still, because we have a program and we must talk about lifestyle and fitness, see, it is very obvious that from a very agricultural, agrarian society, we have now become an urban society. In fact, even if you watch the elections, everybody is talking that there is a new aspiring youth, there is a new urban India, and India is urbanizing, and the voting pattern is changing, preferences are changing. Similarly, obviously, from agrarian, when it becomes an urbanized kind of a society, the lifestyle is bound to change. We had a pollution-free, very pastoral, happy-go-lucky, and simple lifestyle, and from that we have become a very complicated, complex, and hectic, and extremely polluted kind of life environment in which we are living today. Obviously, it will have an impact on our health and the kind of diseases that we face. Not that agrarian thing is also as good as it was earlier. There is impoverishment because of extreme commercialization. There is also impoverishment of health in the agrarian area, in the rural areas. The vegetables are grown not for eating there, but for supplying to the city. The milk is made not for drinking by the children in the villages, but for sending to the city. I have also been recruiting policemen in thousands, and I can tell you, we conduct a 5-kilometer run to, just weed out the thousands and thousands who apply. There is tremendous opposition even for that 5-kilometer run, that we should not have it. Not only among the candidates, even the officers, they don't understand why we should have 5. If you can't run 5 kilometers at the age of 20 or 1 or 2 years above or below 20, how are you going to survive another 30, 40 years in your career in police? And after the policemen are recruited, let me tell you, when we do the training, when we make them to run in the ground in the morning, all of them keep crying about pains in the shin, pain in the knees, pains in the thighs and all that. That is because if you get them checked up, if you get our rural population, young people checked up, most of them are deficient in calcium because they have not taken milk in their childhood. There is calcium deficiency, and their bones start paining when they start running. So it is a fact that because of the changes in the lifestyle, commercialization of the lifestyle in the rural areas, they are not drinking milk, the children are not drinking milk, and they are calcium deficient, they are not able to run. If you come to the urban areas, the so-called sort of affluent children, you find now child obesity in our cities. You find overeating, you find eating of junk food, and all the problems that come along with this kind of uncontrolled intake of carbohydrates and all kinds of useless fats. If you go to the hospitals, hospitals today are focusing on, what are they focusing on? They are focusing on diabetes. It is a lifestyle disease. Okay, because of tension and because of the kind of junk that we eat, we get diabetes. Early onset of diabetes in young people is a very common phenomenon now today in our country. Okay, if you watch the TV, I have been watching TV because of these elections, there is some Dr. Gaurav Sharma. A single doctor of diabetes is advertising on television. So you can imagine what is the, obviously he must be getting patients. Obviously there must be a target which he is hitting. Obviously the target is big, and diabetes is very rapidly increasing in our society because of lack of exercise, excessive stress, and the kind of food that we eat, and obviously maybe pollution also. Similarly, hospitals are focusing on hypertension, cancer induced by lifestyle. You know what? I don't see, luckily in the south of the Vindhyas, I don't see such advertisements. But if you go to Uttar Pradesh, The biggest, the state that sends 80 MPs to the parliament of this country, it boasts of sending 80 MPs, is also the state where you will find in every street corner huge hoardings of Phalana Phalana Gutka, the fastest growing Gutka. I was shocked. I said this should be burnt. And it is being advertised that this is the fastest, every Gutka is fastest growing. And they are advertising in hoardings in Uttar Pradesh. And we send 80 MPs from there. They are supposed to decide the fate of our nation. Isn't it? What kind of a contradiction is there today in our country? You can imagine. Obviously, Gutka is extremely harmful to health, and you know what kind of oral cancers it can cause. Another important thing that you notice is that while in the cities, every hospital is super speciality, because our lifestyle is such that we require such treatments. In the villages, even primary health is not available in our country. Primary health, for eye checkup, for teeth checkup, there are no facilities, which is an amazing contradiction which needs to be corrected. Of course, we can't do it, but we can do advocacy. As people concerned with fitness and sports and lifestyle, we must talk about these things everywhere, and we must develop more and more awareness about these kind of contradictions. Another very important thing which we notice today is the kind of town planning that is going on. See, we say Hyderabad is a shining city, and this city and that city. Every city is a great city, but every city is congested. Every city is, the space is at a premium. And if you see the kind of town planning that we have, it's all very scientific. It's very scientific. Now we have layouts, and layouts have to be approved, and there should be the setback, and there should be the number of plots that you can have, there should be the width of the road, and every colony that is approved should have some lung spaces. Lung spaces have to be there, where you can have some greenery. But there is no compulsion of having any play spaces. Okay, there are no play spaces mandated in our town planning, that for so many, suppose you are making a layout of say 200 houses. You visualize how many children will be there in those 200 houses. Where will those children play? There is no place in our town planning for setting aside some space for children to play. So if children don't play, they watch television all the time, or they have 2 earphones in their ears all the time and sitting and eating junk, obviously their health is going to get spoiled. So we must insist that in our town planning, we must ensure that it is mandatory that at least one court for a basketball or a volleyball, or we can't have cricket grounds everywhere, but a volleyball court, a basketball court is nothing. It should be there for every few hundred houses, so that children can go and start playing a little bit, doing some exercise. So urban town planning is another important area which anyone concerned with fitness must look into. The way our urban spaces are growing are not conducive for health and fitness of where we are living, where our people and our future generations are going to live. I was surprised one day when one person who deals in electronics goods, he came to my house. So I was watching news on the television. So I asked him to come inside, and we were sitting on the dining table. I was watching the news. He says, "Sir, you don't have a TV in your drawing room?" I said, "No, yaar, we just watch it for 10 minutes while having dinner. We watch the news." No, sir, you must have a TV in your drawing room. And what about your bedroom? And I said, "No, we just sleep in the bedroom." He said, "Sir, today, now the new houses that are coming up, people are buying 4 TVs, 6 TVs per house." So I said, "They have so much time to watch TV?" They said, "Yes, they put a TV everywhere." And what is happening? Long years back when I was in school and the television just started, it was called the idiot box. It used to be so bulky. You remember? Plywood ka dabba they used to make with decorum on top, and black and white TV, and used to be thrilled when that cinema used to come. So it was called the idiot box because people spend hours sitting before it, gaping at it, doing nothing. And today, the box has become slim, And the smart fellows who are buying TVs and watching TVs have become fat. Isn't it a contradiction? That the TV has become slim and people who are watching have become fat because they're just eating, sitting and watching. All your operas, South Bahu serials, this serial, that serial, crime, everything we are watching and becoming fat and spoiling our health. So that is another thing. My request is that anyone who is concerned with health, you put as many TVs as you wish in your house, but don't watch too much. 10-15 minutes per day to just get the headlines is more than enough. Beyond that, it has nothing to offer except bad health. Better to go out and do some walking rather than sitting and watching for hours TV and following each and every sort of story and celebrating. If there is a wedding in the TV serial, the house is also celebrating. I am amazed the kind of lifestyle we have. Another issue that I have noticed is the youngsters have been given cell phones. All cell phones are now music sort of oriented cell phones, and you will have youngsters having earphones in their ears and a cell phone in their pocket. They don't even notice what the parents are saying. They don't notice what is happening around them. They are just in their own trance with a sort of music in their ears and phone in their pocket. Or if that bloody earphones are not there, they are always doing this, sitting and just doing messaging, texting, all those kind of things. Look at the amount of time that youth are wasting exchanging silly messages, spoiling their English. Look at the kind of English that is being written in the messages in WhatsApp or anything. They don't write correct English also. It's all spoilt. Okay, and the amount of time that they are wasting just sending a text and then waiting for that thing to do ting, and then they watch the text. Nothing of substance is coming and nothing of substance is going, and they are spoiling their health.